Okay. So am I audible now? Good morning, everyone. All clear? Okay, fine. Good. Okay. So I think we have written the topic in last class, that is your electron affinity. We were studying electron gain enthalpy, and in electron gain enthalpy we have to talk about electron affinity. Water, Anni, Swati, Ruchi. Good morning, everyone. Done. So this is the second class for today. Okay. So this is the topic which we have to start, that is your electron affinity. So you just tell me few things, then I will continue. Okay, last class we were talking about electron gain enthalpy. So what can you say about first electron gain enthalpy? Is it positive or negative? First electron gain enthalpy, is it positive or negative? Okay. So correct, it can be anything. It can be positive also, it can be negative also, depending upon the element. Like halogens are there, so negative. Noble gas is there, positive. Nitrogen is there, positive. Beryllium, magnesium is there, positive. Both. What about second, third electron gain enthalpy? Are they always positive, always negative, or anything? So you are saying that they are always positive. So you remember few things. Okay. Then what we studied? Ki more negative value. What do you mean by more negative value of electron gain enthalpy? What you can conclude from this? More negative electron gain enthalpy. What you can conclude from this? More negative electron gain enthalpy, what you can conclude from this? More negative means what? More energy released. That means what? Easier acceptance, or it is willing to take electron. Easily electron is added. Okay? Now see here, now we are going to talk about few things, like suppose we are having few elements like A, B and C, and delta H Eg value is given to you, that is your electron gain enthalpy. For the first element, suppose it is minus 600, for the second element, suppose it is minus 400, and the last element, it is your plus 200. So what do you think? Who will accept the electron very easily? Who will accept the electron very easily? A, B, C. Who will accept the electron very easily? Clear? A. So if I will say order of acceptance of electron, then you will say, sir, A, because more energy released, then B, and then C. Clear? Okay, done. Correct. Okay, Abhiram. Now, one thing I will ask you, who is having more negative electron gain enthalpy? Who is having more negative electron gain enthalpy? You will say A. Who is having more positive? Who is having more positive electron gain enthalpy? Then C. Okay, now. Who is having more positive? Then you will say C. Who is having less negative value? Who is having less negative value? Then also you will say C. Less negative means what? More positive. Less negative means what? More positive. That means that also C. So what is the problem na? Ki when we have to talk in terms of electron gain enthalpy, we have to say ki more negative, less negative, like these things. More negative electron gain enthalpy, less negative electron gain enthalpy. So we have to use these words. Otherwise, what will happen na? Now see the final question which I am asking. If I ask you, who is having high electron gain enthalpy data? Who is having highest electron gain enthalpy? What you will say now? Who is having highest electron gain enthalpy? Now see, one confusion will arise here now. ठीक है, we understand कि -600 amount of energy is released, but if you will see with the sign na, then this is less value. -600 is less value as compared to +200. So there will be a bit confusion in this. ठीक है ना, कि which value is said to be more, this one or this one. Although we know कि we are studying chemistry, mathematics we will ignore. We will say कि minus sign only shows release of energy. So I will say कि this is high value. This is high value. But there is a bit of confusion. So that's why we are having a new term included, that is your electron affinity. What is the relation between electron affinity and electron gain enthalpy? Just negative. Means they are having opposite sign. Electron affinity is negative of electron gain enthalpy. Opposite. Just sign is different, magnitude is same. So electron affinity is negative of electron gain enthalpy. So what is the electron affinity of A? Can you tell? 600. B, what you can say? 400. C, what you can say? -200. Clear? So now what will happen na, if you will talk in terms of electron affinity, there will be no confusion. If you talk in terms of electron affinity, there will be no confusion. You can simply say like this, ki more electron affinity, that means what? Electron easily added. Simple, done. Who is having more electron affinity? A. Who is having less electron affinity? C. There is no problem of plus minus thing. There is no problem of plus minus thing. Clear with this point? So every time now we will use the word electron affinity. Every time we will use the word electron affinity, because in that we don't have to say more negative, less negative. Which is more is more. ठीक है ना? Like if I ask you which value is highest? 600. Which value is lowest? -200. Who will take electron easily? 600. Who will not take electron or difficult to add electron? -200. That's it. Are you understanding the significance of electron affinity now? So this is just a new term introduced, although ठीक है ना, it is not very much different from electron gain enthalpy. Done with this point? हो गया ना? That's it. Okay. Negative electron affinity means no addition of electron. Difficult to add electron. ठीक है? Negative electron affinity means positive electron gain enthalpy, means energy absorbed. Clear with this point? ठीक है? That's it. So this is all about, although now when you will go and read in NCERT na, there are 4 lines written down. ठीक है ना? They will write there few things कि electron affinity is defined as absolute 0 Kelvin. ठीक है ना? They will write this thing there. As I told you, the difference between ionization energy. Do you remember? Difference between ionization energy and ionization enthalpy. I told you regarding temperature. Same thing is valid for electron affinity. Electron affinity is also defined at 0 Kelvin. ठीक है? Absolute 0. Electron affinity is defined at absolute 0. Absolute 0. ठीक है? So this also you have to keep in mind. Clear? Absolute 0 means 0 Kelvin. Few people came late. Renuka. ठीक है? चलो, fine. So this thing we have told you. Now again when you will read NCERT lower lines, although if they want to ask question in so much detail, then only they can ask this. What is written there? You know, they have written like this कि electron gain electron affinity is negative of electron gain enthalpy. This point is written, we have also written. Then they have written one thing, electron affinity is not matching with thermodynamics. Electron affinity is not matching with thermodynamics. Now what do you mean by this? See here, If electron gain enthalpy is minus 600, means what do you know? It is absorbed or released. It is absorbed or released. It is absorbed or released. It is released value. It is released value. But when you see the same value in electron affinity, it is observed it is positive. So from positive we will be confused. It is absorbed, but actually that energy is released. ठीक है ना? So this only means कि it is different from or opposite of thermodynamic terms, thermodynamic conventions. ठीक है? So this is the problem with electron affinity. This is written in lower small lines of enthalpy. ठीक है ना? So this only means that. Nothing much important. If they will go in so much detail, then only they can ask. Okay? Actually here the energy is released, but if you will see from electron affinity, it is seen that it is positive value, so energy is absorbed, so it is opposite. Okay? So this only they are saying. That's it. Now come to the next part and the final part. I will say key factors affecting electron affinity. We will talk in terms of electron affinity only. What are the factors? First point we will write periodic table. What happens in periodic table? In a period, electron affinity increases. How you can say it increases? Batao jaldi. How you can say it increases? As Z effective increases. I have told you anything happens in a period, what reason you can give? Z effective increases. Come to the next part. Down the group, electron affinity decreases. What is the reason for this? Because size is increasing. As size increases. Clear with this point? ठीक है. Very good. Now come to the next point. If I will ask you with respect to Z effective, what you will say? We say like this, कि Z effective increases, that means EA, electron affinity also increases. How you can explain this? Suppose Z effective is more, nucleus is pulling, you will add electron. Okay? Means nucleus is pulling, that means it is favoring addition of electron. Nucleus is asking for electron and you give him. Okay? So if Z effective is more, that means addition of electron is easier. Addition of electron is easier. Both are favorable factors. Z effective is more, that means it is favoring addition of electron. Nucleus is asking for electron. Array, come here. Now you will give easily. Supported factor. Clear? Come to the third point now. How can you relate this one with shielding? Now you think and you tell how you can relate electron affinity with shielding. How you can relate electron affinity with shielding? Batao. What do you think? As shielding increases. As shielding increases, that means what? As inversely, you are saying inversely. Shranya is also saying inversely. Manish is also saying decreases. Correct only. So you can think like this. See, this is your nucleus. Shielding is very good. Means it is not able to attract. Nucleus is not able to attract. Means whatever you will do, that is the only thing. There is no supporting factor. Nucleus is supporting. Now you have to add only. You will give energy and you will add. So you can say if shielding is good, that means electron affinity decreases. Okay, electron affinity decreases. Acha, come to the fourth point, and this fourth point is very important. That is your electronic configuration. See, in electron affinity, electronic configuration is very important. It plays a significant role. Plays a significant role. Significant role. Suppose you are having 2p5 configuration. Listen carefully. Suppose you have 2p5 configuration. Addition of electron is easier or difficult? Suppose you are having a 2p5 configuration, addition of electron is easier or difficult? What do you say? Addition of electron easier, because you will become noble gas. Because you will become noble gas. ठीक है? So we say like this कि if stable configuration is obtained after addition of electron, then electron affinity is more. What example I can give? You can say कि halogens have very high electron affinity. That means what you can say? Halogens have very high electron affinity, means in terms of electron gain enthalpy, what I can say? More negative electron gain enthalpy or less negative electron gain enthalpy? In terms of electron gain enthalpy, what I can say? More negative. Noble gas, already stable configuration, noble gas have no electron affinity. This means what you will say? Positive delta H Eg. ठीक है? Now you can see here few exceptions also. You have said कि in a period electron affinity will increase. Now you compare group 1 and group 2. Now you see here group 1 configuration is NS1, group 2 configuration is NS2. What do you think? Who can take electron easily? Lithium or beryllium? Who will have more electron affinity? Lithium and beryllium, who will have more electron affinity? Group 1, because it will take one electron and stable configuration. Because it will take one electron and stable configuration. Lithium is more than beryllium, sodium is more than magnesium, and so on. Clear? Valid to all. Similarly, one more thing is there. If I will ask you group 14, do you remember group 14? Who is present in group 14? Carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, lead, like this. Then who is present in group 15? Batao, group 15, nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. You know कि group 15 is having NP3 configuration. This one is having NP2 configuration. Who can take electron easily? Carbon family. Who can take electron easily? Carbon family. Because after taking one electron, it will attain noble gas configuration. Do you remember I told you कि nitrogen electron gain enthalpy is positive? Do you remember this point? Electron gain enthalpy of nitrogen is positive. Yes. Why positive? See, because it is already having half filled configuration. It is not willing to take electron. It is not willing to take electron. Clear with this point? Similarly, beryllium, magnesium, delta H Eg value is positive. Delta H Eg value is positive means what? Not willing to take electron. Not willing to take electron. Done? All of you understood this part? Now come to the, this was the normal trend we are talking. ठीक है ना? Now come to the most important exception. There are many exceptions in electron affinity, but we will talk about most important one. No one should forget this. ठीक है? Can you guess what I am about to tell? Can you all guess what I am about to tell? We are going to talk about P block. We are going to talk about P block. Which period? Second period and third period. Who is present in second period? बताओ, बोरोन, कार्बन, नाइट्रोजन, ऑक्सीजन, फ्लोरीन. थर्ड पीरियड, एल्यूमिनियम, सिलिकॉन, फॉस्फोरस, सल्फर, क्लोरीन. आर यू गेटिंग दिस पॉइंट? करेक्ट. Is it clear? See, there is a shortcut, Saranya, although means we are not interested because I told you na there are many exceptions. ठीक है ना? So there is a shortcut like this कि NB LIC office. ठीक है ना? So it is like this. So this is your beryllium, and this is your boron. This is your beryllium and this is your boron. ठीक है ना? Exceptions are there. This is the second period comparison. We can see electron affinity order. ठीक है? But so much exceptions we will not discuss. Otherwise, what happens now in discussing many more things, we forget this important thing. ठीक है? Okay. Otherwise, we'll write it someday. Let's focus on this point first. So what we are having, we are having this now according to normal trend. According to normal trend, what we have to see, down the group electron affinity decreases. So who should have more electron affinity? Jaldi batao, tell me quickly. Who should have more electron affinity? Who should have? Fluorine. Fluorine should be more than chlorine, oxygen should be more than sulfur, nitrogen should be more than phosphorus, carbon should be more than silicon, boron should be more than aluminium. But what happens? Finally, what we see ki third period is more than second. Third period is more than second. Third period is having more than second period. This means what you know? Ki chlorine is more than fluorine, sulfur is more than oxygen, phosphorus is more than nitrogen, silicon is more than carbon. These things. Mainly we will focus on last three. Okay? Now the question arises, why? Now the question arises, why? Why electron affinity of fluorine is less? In fact, what we know, you know, कि electron affinity of chlorine is maximum. Electron affinity of chlorine is maximum. ठीक है? So how we can say? You are saying कि due to small size repulsion dominate. Very good. We say like this. See कि this one is your fluorine. See, all are having same valence electron in a group 7. This is also having 7. So this is fluorine having 7 electrons. Now what will happen? Small size. What you will say? Small size. You will say electron density more. ठीक है ना? Now you are trying to add one electron. Now you are trying to add one electron. What will happen here? Here will be repulsion. Here will be repulsion between the existing electron and the approaching electron. Inter-electronic repulsion. So electron affinity of fluorine will slightly decrease. Chlorine, no problem, big size, large size. Large size means what? Electron density less. Means less repulsion. There is less repulsion. Clear? And this is the most important point I am saying. 2 points are there in electron affinity. One is second electron gain enthalpy is always positive. Second onwards, electron gain enthalpy is always positive. And this is the second most important point. No one should forget. If you are sleeping also and anyone asks you, you should tell the answer. Ki chlorine is more than fluorine. Then you sleep. ठीक है? But you should know this answer कि chlorine is more than fluorine. Clear with this point? Because due to small size there is high electronic repulsion. Repulsion between existing electron and the incoming electron. Clear? So finally we are writing according to the group. We can write according to the group like this, ki group 17, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine is there, then fluorine is less than chlorine. So my final order is chlorine, fluorine, bromine, iodine. Clear? If we will talk about group 16, if we will talk about group 16, then which elements are present in group 16? Batao. Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. Now what will happen? बताओ कि sulfur is more. Sulfur is more than oxygen. Third period is more than oxygen, and oxygen is minimum in its group. Very important point. Oxygen is minimum in its group. Saranya, last. That is correct, but oxygen is at last. It is so low. You can check the data from NCERT oxygen family. It is at last. Fluorine to slightly reduced only, but oxygen is last. So my final order is sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium, oxygen. Okay? Don't forget about this. Nitrogen also last in its family. Nitrogen also, group 15 also we can write. Group 15, nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. Okay, let's write till antimony at least. Nitrogen is also last. Clear? Mainly we have to focus on 16th and 17th. Now it's correct. Now it is very good. It is very correct. Understood the point? So all of you can relate these points. ठीक है? Electron gain enthalpy, electron affinity. So this is the point which they are going to ask you. Clear? So fluorine is slightly less, but oxygen is least. Second period is lesser than third period. Iodine is more than chlorine. क्या बात करते हो? कहाँ पे है? नहीं. Chlorine we are saying highest. Check the data once, Sonika. ठीक है? The data is in NCERT. ठीक है? More size. See, don't go only with the size factor. If you will see only the size factor, then normal trend is only wrong. Now, how we can say? What you say? Ki down the group electron affinity decreases, and down the group size was increasing. ठीक ना? So if you will see only one factor, then problem will arise. ठीक है ना? This we were just using size factor. We were just using for the exceptional behavior explanation. ठीक है? Otherwise, you can say if size is more, means electron affinity is less. If size is more, electron affinity is less. Acha, few learning based things are also there, like fact based fact based. ठीक है ना? SOPN. ठीक है ना? These are given in your material. ठीक है ना? But I will again say कि let's focus mainly on group 16 and 17. Let's focus mainly on group 16 and 17. Are you clear with this point? देख लो. ठीक है? And group 1 is more than group 2. Group 14 is more than group 15. So here we have to focus mainly. ठीक है? Done? And this one I was telling you, so you can say this one as neon. Neon, this is your beryllium. Then you can say this one is your nitrogen, and then you can say this one is your boron. ठीक है? And then LiC, lithium, carbon, oxygen, fluorine. So this is the trick for remembering second period. Now it's your choice, but this is the trick for remembering second period, but this is your choice. Electron affinity order. Electron affinity order. So only this much is in your syllabus. You can just go through all these points. ठीक है ना? All of you clear with this point? Suppose last question, if I ask you this, can you tell me कि if electron gain enthalpy of fluorine is suppose minus 340 kilojoule per mole, find ionization energy of F and F minus. Can you tell me which value I can Balia LIC office? You can try anything. ठीक है ना? So NB LIC office. Neon you can know कि neon is minimum noble gas positive value. ठीक है? So can you tell me about this? ठीक है? So which one I can tell about F or F minus? About which I can comment? I can comment about F or F minus. So according to the question, this value is given, electron gain enthalpy is given minus 340. So if you reverse this, reverse once, reverse, then what I will get? F minus will give rise to F plus electron. This is ionization energy of F minus and that is plus 340. So I can tell ionization energy of F minus. For F what I will say? Not sufficient data. Correct? Got the point? Now few observations are there. ठीक है ना? So now you should go and check NCERT. See, now few things I am telling you again. You should go and check NCERT now. ठीक है ना? Correct? So these type of questions are there. This is your second period. So your choice. These are all your choice. ठीक है ना? Optional type you can say. Now you go and check some data. Like what you have to see. Alkali metal. You know na, alkali metal, they are more metallic, they lose electron easily. So what do you expect? Their electron gain enthalpy value should be positive or negative? Just guess. Alkali metal, their electron gain enthalpy should be positive or negative? Should be positive or negative? What do you think? Means just guess. I'm not very much sure, but I'm asking only. So many people will say कि sir, they will never take electron. They will never take electron. So their electron gain enthalpy should be positive. But when you will go and check, you will see the data in NCERT. These are low negative values. Low negative values around minus 40, minus 60. So data is minus. What reason we can give? We can give the reason कि भाई, although we have not seen Na minus, we have not seen K minus, ठीक है ना? But we can say कि low negative value is there because if you add one electron, it can go in NS2. Clear? Second observation. So these things you have to go and check in NCERT. In noble gas also, what do you think? Whose electron gain enthalpy is maximum? In noble gas, delta Heg max. What do you think? Whose value? Down the group it decreases. Everyone. Now you guess. What do you think? Positive only. We know positive. The values are positive. But who is having maximum? Huh? So these things we have to observe from NCERT also. Okay. Who should be maximum? So by normal trend, helium should be maximum. Down the group it will decrease. But what you will see there? You will see there that neon has the maximum value. Neon has the maximum value. Clear with this point? Helium नहीं दिया हुआ है. Go and check once. Neon is having the maximum value. If I ask you second electron gain enthalpy of oxygen, second electron gain enthalpy of oxygen, what you will say? Second electron gain enthalpy of oxygen, positive or negative? It is gaining noble gas configuration, positive or negative? O2 minus, O minus to O2 minus. So don't think only this, it is gaining noble gas configuration. What we have said ki from second onwards electron gain enthalpy is always positive. Electron gain enthalpy is always positive, no exceptions. From second onwards for any atom electron gain enthalpy value is positive. So done with our electron gain enthalpy and electron affinity. In next class we'll start from electronegativity. Till this point only you have the syllabus, solve questions. I will only say read the notes, solve questions. So hope you understood everything. Is it clear? Give the test nicely. Done? So whatever we have studied, read the notes, solve some questions, then give the test. QR code. Okay, QR code is this. So enough for today. We'll see now in next week. Okay, done? Chalo. And practice some questions. I am again saying few people were late also in the class. ठीक है ना? So as soon as you get the notification, join the group. Timetable is there. Will we have classes during space exam? They will inform you, Vijay. They will inform you in the group only. Less chances, but they will inform. Okay. Syllabus, because I think everyone will complete today only, so less chance. Okay. Chalo, ठीक है. Thanks everyone. Bye bye. Study nicely. Practice more. Get selected. Chalo, ठीक है. Thanks. Bye.